Hi folks, and Céad Míle Fáilte. Today, a little bit of a short maintenance video, right? A few things that you can do at home and keep an eye on your bike. Coolant level and air filters. Let's do it. Before we begin, very quickly, I know what you're thinking, maintenance schedule, and you're talking about coolant and air filters. Yeah, I know, it's kind of ridiculous, but it is something that you should be doing regular checks on them. And I wanted to cover these two topics because there are things that people usually neglect, right? If you think about it, these are two items that are actually quite important for the health of your engine and often neglected. No one really checks the coolant level, and more often than not, people forget about the air filters, right? Depending on where you live or what type of riding you do, you might need air filters more quickly than others. They probably will last a year or two, maybe, depending again on your situation, right? If you live on very dusty conditions, stuff like that, you might want to be on top of your filter more often. Sometimes even just taking the filter out, giving it a quick clean, you should be good to go. But again, you want to make sure that that air filter is clean and functioning properly, right? And of course, if you think about it, right, once that air filter becomes all blocked and gunked and everything, there will be less air going into your engine, and that will be, loss of performance. The combustion won't be as clean, so you probably could be burning more fuel, etc. Right? So it's actually quite key. And again, an item that you'll see, it takes only a couple of minutes to check out. I don't mean to be doing this type of checks every time you go out for a ride, but every couple of months, it definitely makes sense to go out, have a quick look, see how things look. If you need to replace them, they're pretty inexpensive as well, right? Also, the coolant level, right? Unless you have a leak, it shouldn't go anywhere, but still very easy to check and definitely worth the 2 seconds that it takes to check on the level, right? And making sure that everything is good to go. Having said all that, first thing you want to do is to put the bike on the center stand on level ground. Don't go too crazy on all this, right? It doesn't have to be absolutely dead center and everything. It's to have a quick look at the levels of everything. So on the right hand side of the bike, if you look at the side, that will be your oil level, right? So it has to be somewhere between the minimum and the maximum. I'm perfectly fine there, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Like I said, I just have the bike service, so oil is looking absolutely beautiful there. And you can see the two marks there, that would be the minimum, and this one there would be the maximum. So anywhere between the two will be absolutely fine. You don't have to be all the way up, and if you are at the bottom, don't be too crazy about it. Again, I have the bike on certain stand at the moment, but you can also put it on the side stand and make sure that the bike is level-ish, right? But again, don't go too crazy about making sure that this whole thing is 100% perfect. Then for the coolant, you'll see this little window there, and let me zoom out again. So on this side, behind this fairing, there you can see that is the coolant bottle. And the trick there, in order to see it, is that if you grab a little bit of a light there and put it underneath here, right? And you can see how, depends on how I move my light and everything, the color will change. I'm pretty comfortable with that. I think it's good, but if you need to top it up, then we'll see how we need to remove just that one panel to get access to both the air filter or the coolant top-up reservoir. So let's have a look at that. First step, put the key on the side and remove your seat. Be careful if you have heated seats, you will have a little bit of a connection. I only have it on the front, so as you can see there, there's a little bit of cable. But just put it on the side, it's absolutely fine. And you only need a T25, and you can definitely use your tool included under the seat. For this whole job, we only need to remove this panel. So we need to take the seat to remove this bolt at the back, and there's also a bolt underneath here. Now, to get access to this, we need to only move the front panel a little bit. Let's start by removing the bolt at the back. If you're doing both air filters, you have to do this on both sides. And then there's a bolt underneath here that we need to access. Now, there's a couple of ways to go about it. You can remove or put to the side the winglet to have a little bit more access, but I'll show you. This one just pops up. No problem whatsoever. And the bolt is right there. Do you need to remove the winglet? I don't think so. But if you want to have a little bit more space, you can totally do it. And that's it. That's all you need. Of course, you have to do the same thing on the other side if you want to remove both air filters. With the front bolt remove, you just pop off the panel. It's only a few clips and it will come up right away. As you can see at the back, it's just held by these kind of plastic clips and tabs. So it just pops up, no problem whatsoever. Now, there you have it. It's pretty obvious. If you want to top up your coolant level, you just remove this little cap and top it up there. I would definitely recommend a little bit of a funnel, right? Because the opening of the whole thing, it's pretty small actually. So, you know, a little bit of a funnel, just not to make a mess, that would be very recommended. Go slowly, make sure that you keep checking underneath as I showed you before on this little panel, the coolant level, making sure that you don't go above the max line. And actually, since, you know, getting the whole bike level and everything is not absolutely precise, I would probably recommend leaving it a little bit short off of the top level. If you go right up to the max level, it won't matter, but just make sure that you don't go above it and definitely don't go too crazy. All right, so now this is your airbox, right? So you have the same thing on the other side as well. It's basically the same process on the other side. And then you have two bolts, right? One at the back, one at the front. The one at the back, it's at a little bit of an angle, but anything that is not too thick, it will be able to reach out there, no problem whatsoever. And also, obviously, you know, these are tied into plastic, so they don't have a lot of torque. So even if you're at a little bit of an angle, it wouldn't matter at all. Just don't go crazy with power tools or anything like that, right? So this one, as you can see, it kind of hits there, but just leave it loose and you should be absolutely fine. And then undo the one at the front. And as you can see, the cover is already coming off. There you go. So now it's just a matter of a little bit of a wiggling just to make sure that it comes off. What I like to do is pick up the front of the cover, grab the bolt, if you can see it there, and just pop it up. That will give you a lot more room to wiggle things around. Pop it down, and now that will give you enough room to grab the back bolt. And there we go. That is your air filter right there. So I'll show you again the two T25s, and that is your air filter and the two flies that live in my air filter there. For whatever reason, they came up there. So again, this is part of your regular checks, right? Make sure there's nothing around the cover before you remove the filter, right? If you need it, you can vacuum things a little bit. So I don't know if you can see it there, but there is a little bit of a rock there. So I'm just going to be careful that it doesn't fall into the engine. Obviously, that's your intake. As you can see, that was on my Airbox. So definitely not a bad idea to do, you know, a little bit of a check. This one has a basket, right, that holds the filter in place. You just remove that, this you keep on, and this is the filter that you replace. So as you can see, this one is absolutely perfectly clean, no issues whatsoever, right? The bike is relatively new, and I haven't been doing much off-road, if at all, right, on this bike. So this one I'm perfectly happy to put back on. Now let's have a quick look at the intake. So I'll give you a quick look how everything looks on the inside. And this is why I said, you know, maybe a little bit of a vacuum or clean stuff up before you remove the filter, is because that is your butterfly, that is your intake, right? So if obviously the valve, obviously with the bike off, it's closed. So if something falls in there, you still have time to kind of vacuum it out before it enters your engine. But that goes straight in here, right? This is what you're seeing there, and this goes inside your engine straight away. So definitely be careful. That is my only call out here while doing this. Clean up the area. You saw that little bit of a rock that was lodged into the ridge where the basket of the filter sits. So just be careful with that. So again, you have your new filter. In my case, I'm going with the same one that I have. Put your basket back on top. Make sure that everything is sitting nicely. So you want to have these ones grabbing on the filter and the basket resting on the kind of red orange part, right? The rubber thing that will create that seal. Any air has to go through the filter and doesn't kind of leak in between, right? So with that in mind, just put it back in place. Make sure everything is aligned. It only has one spot to land on, right? And you'll feel it once it's there. It won't move. Obviously, with that rubber gasket is completely sealed. Now it's a little bit of a dance again to put the cover back on, right? And I guess this is the most difficult part of the whole operation, although it's not that difficult once you get a hold of it. But again, it's a little bit tricky because when you put on the cover, the bolt might not be able to align perfectly fine. You can push it a little bit, but because you do have that plastic, it's going to block the access of the bolt a little bit, right? So line it up with the hole and then try to push it, right, and walk the whole cover in. While you do this, as you can see, the whole filter might move a little bit. You'll feel it straight away, so make sure that the whole thing is in place and secure. You'll definitely see if the whole thing is aligning properly or not, because the cover will not align otherwise, right? So there you go. Now the bolt is properly in, and that's it, right? It clicked in place. Now it's completely sitting flush. So that tells you that the whole thing is in place perfectly fine. So obviously put the bolt at the front back on, and you can tighten the two things up. I like to go with the one on the front first because it's the one that is more easy to access. Snug is more than enough. Do not tighten this very hard. That's it. 2 fingers, it stops. That's absolutely everything that it needs. This cover will not move whatsoever, right? So that's it for the filter. Now let's get the cover back on. So now we just need to align the cover back on. Grab your 2 bolts, one at the front and one at the back. And then we can go back on with the front peak. Just click it back in place. Sits back on. Again, be careful if you have heated seats at the front, if you're fancy like that. Clicks in place, remove the key, good to go. Now, why don't I do a proper maintenance video and do the oil change and filters? And the reason being is that if you own a 1300GS as of 2026, chances are that your bike is still under warranty, right? And it's one of those topics where, yes, you can do your own maintenance, you own the bike, you can do whatever you want, but you know, if you have an issue with the engine or your gearbox or anything like that, and you then take the bike to the dealer saying, hey, I have an issue, and they can basically reject it saying, hey, you didn't do a proper service, it's your fault, right? I'm not saying that BMW does that, but just in case, at least what I do, right, for my own peace of mind, I do spend a little bit extra throughout the first 3 years while the bike is covered under warranty, and I definitely take the bike back to the main dealer and have that service there. After that, I do it on my own, I do my own services, and I actually go above and beyond the services normally, right? I do replace the final drive, the gearbox oil pretty much every year, right? It doesn't cost much, I just do it. But anyways, without going into too much detail of that, that is the reason why I don't do it. And I will guess that most people would be on the same boat, right? Taking it to the shop or something to make sure that the warranty is still protected. So there you have it, quick and easy video, but a few things that again you should have at the back of your mind. Checking the coolant every now and then, checking the air filters every couple of months, depending again if you are doing off-roads in fire roads with a lot of dust and everything, then maybe check it a little bit more often. Normally they will be fine for about a year, 2 years, right, depending on what you do. If you only spend time on tarmac, it would be absolutely fine. It takes 2 seconds, right? Check the coolant, check the oil level, right, to make sure that everything is fine. The computer will let you know again, right, if there's anything wrong, but the whole thing about maintenance is you want to catch it before anything happens, right? Because again, if you run out of coolant or oil in the middle of the road, then you're in trouble. But if you do it at home and you see, oh, the coolant is low, well, maybe take the car right instead or something like that. I don't know. I'm actually doing this video because one of you folks actually suggested. I'll leave the name of the person that asked the question over here, asking to do this video. So thank you for the recommendation, really appreciate it. There you have it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment, any questions or anything like that. And I'll see you folks on the next one. Thanks.